there was a case of a girl that I worked with. Her mother had seen that she was about to walk in the grass where they had just sprayed chemicals for fertilizers and pesticides. And her mother said, "Oh, don't walk on the grass. It could be dangerous." The little girl said, "Why?" She's 9 years old by the time she came to see me. Said, it's, there's chemicals on there that are bad for you. And so naturally she drew back from that, being a good, well-behaved child. Then she started thinking about it, and she realized that, okay, well, you never know just because there's a sign. Okay, that indicates that there's probably something on this grass. But most grass in general, and grass grows outside of a specific area, so she became afraid of all grass. Then that generalized to, well, what grows in the grass? Flowers. She became afraid of touching flowers. Trees. Trees grow in the grass, so she became afraid of touching trees. Pencils are made of wood, and wood is from trees, and so she became afraid of touching pencils. And then it soon generalized to pens, crayons, just about anything that was long and cylindrical that resembled a pencil. So by the time she came to me, there were a good number of things that she was afraid of, and her mother realized exactly where it came from, but it had gotten to this extent. And what we had to do was we had to work on it gradually. They use exposure therapy with people who have phobias. They will expose you gradually to the thing that you're afraid of. First via a picture, then maybe a video, a moving picture. Then they'll actually bring the item into the room. I don't know if they actually do that with clowns. Sorry again for mentioning clowns. But things that are successive approximations of the thing that you're afraid of, until eventually you get to hold the thing that you're afraid of until it doesn't hurt you and you realize that there's no fear anymore. And then it extinguishes. And this is what they refer to in behaviorism as extinguishing a fear or an association, extinguishing a reinforcer. It stops occurring, and therefore it stops being associated. So what we did with her was we started out with a pencil, and we had a pencil in the room, and I had some pencils on my desk, and then I gradually moved them a little closer to her, and she knew what was going on. We explained everything. Eventually I gave her a pencil to hold when she felt like she was ready, and she took the pencil and clasped it tightly, kind of afraid to look at it. Her knuckles were turning white, and after a while she was like, okay, nothing happened. Yeah, okay. And she was able to put the pencil down and everything was okay. And then we used the pen, we used the crayon, we used some of the other things. And I asked her at that point, I said, well, are you ready to touch your shoes? Because she was afraid of her shoes too, because, well, shoes walk on grass. And she literally said, no, let's not get crazy here. We gradually were able to extinguish the fear.